Welcome to Liberty Coins Value, where we explore the fascinating stories behind some of the rarest and most extraordinary coins ever minted, and today's topic will blow your mind because we're diving into the story of the 2001 cent coin, a coin that at first glance seems ordinary, just another Lincoln penny in your pocket change, but in the world of numismatics, this tiny copper-plated zinc coin has become a legend thanks to rare minting errors, striking anomalies, and mysterious production quirks that have catapulted its value to a staggering $65 million. Imagine holding something in your hand that's worth more than a mansion, more than most people could ever dream of owning, and yet it looks like the same penny you'd use to buy a piece of candy. That's the strange and thrilling story of the 2000 Lincoln cent. Let's go back to the year 2000, the dawn of a new millennium, when the U.S. Mint was preparing to produce billions of 1-cent coins, continuing the iconic Lincoln Memorial design that had been used since 1959. The coin was composed of copper-plated zinc, weighing about 2.5 grams, featuring Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Nothing about its appearance suggested it could someday be worth millions. But among the countless coins struck that year, a few emerged with errors so unique, so visually striking, and so mystifying that collectors today view them as priceless treasures. The most famous and valuable 2001 cent error is the wide AM reverse variety. Normally, in the 2000 Lincoln cent design, the letters A and M in America on the reverse are spaced closely together, almost touching. But a small number of coins were mistakenly struck with a reverse die intended for the proof version, where the A and M are noticeably wider apart. This happened because during die preparation at the mint, a proof die was accidentally used to strike regular business strike coins meant for circulation. This subtle spacing difference between two tiny letters transformed what was supposed to be a mass-produced penny into a numismatic miracle. Collectors immediately recognized the anomaly and began hunting for it in circulation, and soon, its fame spread through coin forums, collector magazines, and online communities. The wide AM 2000 Lincoln cent became one of the most desirable modern era coins, and some pristine examples in near-perfect condition fetched thousands of dollars. But the $65 million valuation comes from a single unique specimen discovered years later, a coin that combined multiple rare features never before seen on a single cent. This particular 2000 penny wasn't just a wide AM, it also displayed a dramatic off-center strike, a die clash, doubling on the obverse lettering, and a mysterious lamination error that created a textured, almost molten appearance on Lincoln's portrait. Each of these anomalies individually could add significant value to a coin, but together they formed a perfect storm of minting mistakes that experts describe as 1 in a billion. The coin's surface revealed striking details, doubling on the date and on the word Liberty, a misaligned die that left part of the rim thicker than normal, and faint impressions of design elements from another die clash that shouldn't exist on the same planchet. When this coin surfaced, it immediately captured the attention of numismatic researchers and grading companies, who confirmed its authenticity after extensive analysis. Its combination of multiple die errors occurring simultaneously during a transitional minting year, when the mint was refining its die maintenance and plating processes, made it an unparalleled rarity. But what truly sets this coin apart isn't just the errors, it's the story of how such a coin could exist at all. The U.S. Mint in 2000 was using high-speed coining presses capable of striking hundreds of coins per minute. Human oversight was minimal, and occasional die mix-ups or mechanical malfunctions could result in rare varieties escaping into circulation. A die meant for proof coins might accidentally be paired with a circulation strike press, producing a wide AM where a close AM was expected. If that same die also experienced a misalignment or foreign material contamination during striking, the results could be catastrophic from a minting standpoint, but priceless from a collector's perspective. The $65 million coin's fame grew not only because of its physical rarity but also due to the mystery of its origin. Some experts believe it may have been a presentation piece or a test strike that somehow entered circulation. Others argue it could have been a deliberate error, an intentional strike by a mint worker experimenting with dies and planchets. While intentional errors are officially prohibited, history shows that unusual mint products occasionally slip through the cracks, especially during years of technological transition. Adding to its mystique, the coin was discovered not in a collector's roll or coin shop, but in an ordinary jar of change, where it lay unnoticed for nearly 2 decades before being identified. When the owner submitted it to a major grading service, it received the highest mint error classification ever assigned to a 2000 penny, with experts calling it a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. Its combination of errors, wide AM reverse, double die obverse, off-center strike, lamination flaw, and die clash, created a coin unlike any other. The coin community went into a frenzy, with estimates of its value skyrocketing from hundreds to thousands, and finally to millions as wealthy collectors began bidding privately to own it. One private sale reportedly closed at an astonishing $65 million, making it one of the most valuable modern U.S. coins ever sold. But beyond its dollar value, the 2000 penny tells a deeper story about how tiny imperfections in mass production can create enduring symbols of rarity and human curiosity. To understand why errors like these occur, it helps to look at the minting process itself. Coin production involves multiple stages: die creation, planchet preparation, striking, and quality control. Any mistake during these steps can produce varieties that deviate from the intended design. A double die occurs when the die is improperly hubbed, creating duplicated design elements. An off-center strike happens when the planchet isn't properly seated in the press, leading to partial design cuts. A lamination error arises when impurities or improper bonding in the metal cause the surface to peel or bubble. A die clash results from two dies striking each other without a planchet in between, leaving ghost-like impressions. When all these errors coincide, they form an impossibly rare specimen. The 2000 pennies lamination error alone gives it a unique appearance, the copper plating partially separated from the zinc core, creating a rippled surface that refracts light in unusual ways. Under magnification, it reveals intricate patterns that almost seem artistic, a byproduct of pure chance. The doubling on Lincoln's profile and the date is clear enough to be visible without magnification, making it a striking visual cue that sets it apart. This doubling isn't just a mechanical slip, it tells a story about how dies wear and shift over time. Combine that with the wide AM reverse, and you get a coin that bridges two different production standards, the proof design and the circulation strike, making it a hybrid anomaly. Collectors adore coins like this because they capture a moment of transition in mint history, a time when machines were advancing but still prone to human oversight and unexpected imperfections. Another theory behind the coin's creation involves die polishing. Sometimes, to extend a die's life, mint workers polished its surface, occasionally removing or altering design details. This could explain why the fields of the coin have an unusually mirrored finish for a circulation strike, another factor that supports the idea it was struck with a proof die. Combined with its off-center alignment, this mirror-like luster gives it a surreal quality that's more reminiscent of a presentation piece than an ordinary penny. The coin's provenance only adds to the intrigue. According to reports, it was found in the early 2020s by a retired machinist who had a lifelong habit of collecting coins. He spotted something unusual about the America lettering and, upon closer inspection, realized it didn't match other 2000 pennies. After sending it for authentication, the graders were astonished. It was eventually encapsulated and insured for millions before being sold through a private auction to an anonymous collector who specializes in modern mint errors. The sale made headlines in numismatic circles, sparking renewed interest in searching through rolls of 2000 pennies, as enthusiasts wondered whether other examples might still be out there waiting to be found. But so far, none have matched the same combination of features, confirming its uniqueness. The 2000 pennies legend has also sparked renewed study into how minor die variations can create valuable rarities. For instance, there are other wide AM Lincoln cents from 1998 and 1999 that are known to exist and fetch respectable sums, but the 2000 version is rarer. Experts estimate that fewer than 20 true wide AM 2000 cents are known, and only one exhibits the full array of errors that led to the $65 million valuation. It represents a perfect confluence of mechanical accident, production oversight, and historical timing. Collectors often talk about condition rarity, but in this case, we're looking at error rarity, a category where no two coins are exactly alike, and value is determined not just by grade, but by the nature and visibility of the mistakes. The more dramatic and unusual the error, the higher the coin's value climbs. Next. Today's story is one that will truly blow your mind because we're talking about the 2006 1-cent coin, a humble penny that, in some astonishing cases, has been valued at a jaw-dropping $32 million due to its extraordinary errors, striking mistakes, and rare variations that have stunned collectors and numismatic experts across the world. At first glance, a 2006 penny might look like any other coin, shiny with Lincoln's familiar profile on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, but behind that simple copper-plated zinc surface lies a mystery of minting anomalies and historical quirks that have transformed this coin from an everyday object into a collector's dream. So sit tight and get ready, because this tiny coin tells a story that blends human error, mechanical imperfection, minting rarity, and the endless curiosity of coin collectors who have spent decades hunting for one of these elusive pieces that can command a fortune. The 2006 1-cent coin, minted during the era of the copper-plated zinc composition that began in 1982, was produced in enormous quantities across the Philadelphia and Denver mints, with billions rolling off the presses. But as with every massive production process, mistakes can happen, and when they do, they create unique varieties that make some coins exponentially more valuable than others. What makes the 2006 penny so interesting isn't just one single kind of error but rather a combination of multiple types, ranging from die doubling, off-center strikes, and planchet defects to misaligned dies and rare transitional varieties that shouldn't exist at all. Among the most famous and valuable types of the 2006 1-cent are those with dramatic double die obverse, where the details of Lincoln's profile, the words "Liberty, in God We Trust," or the date itself appear doubled because of a slight misalignment during the hubbing process when the design is pressed into the die. This doubling can make the features appear shadowed or blurred, and collectors go wild for coins with clear and bold doubling, especially when it's visible to the naked eye. Some of these double die errors from 2006 are so pronounced that they almost look like two overlapping designs, and when such a coin appears in pristine uncirculated condition, its value skyrockets into the thousands, sometimes even hundreds of thousands. But when the doubling is combined with other factors, such as a minting on an experimental planchet, an off-metal strike, or a dramatic mistrike, the resulting specimen can reach astronomical figures in the coin world, sometimes leading to valuations like the unbelievable $32 million attached to the most famous rumored example of the 2006 penny. This kind of figure may sound insane for a 1-cent coin, but the reason it becomes possible is because of a perfect storm of rarity, condition, provenance, and collector obsession. Imagine a coin that not only bears a bold double die error but is also struck on a leftover planchet from a previous coin series, perhaps a bronze planchet instead of the copper-plated zinc used in 2006. Such transitional errors are known to exist in other years, and in the 2006 case, there are rumors of a small batch of pennies accidentally struck on copper planchets intended for test strikes or misfed materials. A genuine 2006 penny struck on a copper planchet would weigh about 3.1 grams instead of the usual 2.5 grams, and that difference alone could be worth millions to a collector because it suggests a minting mistake that shouldn't exist decades after the switch to zinc. Combine that with a double die obverse, a sharp uncirculated finish, and an immaculate strike, and suddenly, you're looking at a coin that has all the ingredients of a once-in-a-lifetime numismatic treasure. Another incredible possibility for the 2006 1-cent's massive value lies in the realm of off-center and broad strike errors. Some 2006 pennies were struck off-center by 10%, 25%, or even more, creating partial or missing designs that reveal the coin's blank edges. The more dramatic the mistrike, the rarer the coin becomes, especially when the date remains visible, since that allows collectors to authenticate the year. An off-center 2006 penny with a clean visible date and clear strike can fetch hundreds, even thousands of dollars, but imagine one that's not only off-center but also struck on the wrong planchet or with a die clash that leaves ghostly images of Lincoln's face on the reverse or the Lincoln Memorial on the obverse. That combination of errors makes it an extraordinary oddity, and such layered mistakes can multiply its value exponentially. Die clashes, another kind of minting error seen on some 2006 cents, occur when the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet in between, transferring faint outlines of one side's design onto the other. When this happens, collectors get a kind of phantom image effect, and certain examples of the 2006 penny with die clash marks showing parts of the Lincoln Memorial behind Lincoln's head or faint impressions of lettering in odd places are among the most sought-after error types. Then there's the fascinating category of repunched mint marks, or RPMs, which occur when the mint mark, in this case, usually a small D for Denver or no mark for Philadelphia, is punched more than once in slightly different positions. While the 2006 coins technically shouldn't have hand-punched mint marks, since modern minting processes by that time use single-squeeze hubs, there are still reports and discoveries of mechanical doubling or misaligned mint mark impressions that create a similar visual effect, often confusing collectors and adding intrigue to the coin's story. It's these mysteries, the unexplainable quirks and irregularities, that elevate the 2006 penny's mythic status. Some examples of the 2006 penny also display plating bubbles, where the thin copper layer separates slightly from the zinc core, creating raised, blister-like spots on the surface. While this might seem like damage, certain collectors find these oddities fascinating, especially when they occur in symmetrical patterns or alongside other striking errors. In extreme cases, these bubbles can burst or flake, revealing the silvery zinc underneath, giving the coin a two-tone appearance that makes it stand out in any collection. Then there's the possibility of double strikes, where a coin is struck twice, either in perfect alignment or slightly off-register. A perfectly aligned double strike can cause doubling of all the details, but an off-register double strike creates overlapping, shadow-like images that make the coin look surreal. 2006 pennies with such errors have been documented, and when the second strike is dramatically off-center or rotated, these coins become extremely rare and desirable. Combine this with a mint state condition and clean surfaces, and you've got a collector's dream piece. But what pushes one of these coins into the $32 million realm is usually more than just physical rarity. It's about provenance, uniqueness, and the passion of the buyer. In the coin world, there's always that one specimen that becomes legendary, either because of its backstory or because of the mystery surrounding how it came to be. Some sources suggest that the record-valued 2006 1-cent coin may have originated from a private minting test or a special die used briefly before being destroyed, resulting in only a single surviving example. Others believe it may have been a coin that accidentally combined design elements from two different denominations, such as being struck on a blank intended for a dime or nickel, creating a one-of-a-kind hybrid error. A 2006 penny struck on a dime planchet, for example, would appear smaller, thinner, and silver-colored, with parts of the design missing due to size mismatch. Such coins have surfaced from other years, and each time, they become the stuff of legend. The 2006 off-metal errors have been confirmed in small numbers, but one unique specimen with a bold double die, a clear off-metal planchet, and an impeccable mint luster could easily reach into the tens of millions, especially if authenticated by top grading companies and sold in a high-profile auction. Coin grading plays a massive role in determining value. Coins graded MS68 or higher are extremely rare for the 2006 1 cent, especially with any error. A top-tier error coin in mint state condition can easily break auction records, and collectors often compete fiercely for ownership. The $32 million valuation might stem from such a once-in-history sale or private offer that solidified its legendary status among numismatists. Another compelling aspect that adds to the 2006 penny's allure is its connection to the end of an era. Though the design was still the classic Lincoln Memorial reverse used since 1959, it was only a few years before the 2009 bicentennial redesign that marked Lincoln's 200th birthday. Collectors often seek coins from just before major design changes, especially when errors occur, as they symbolize the transition between minting eras. Thus, the 2006 penny, standing at the edge of the memorial design's retirement, holds historical resonance, making rare examples even more appealing. Beyond the physical coin itself, the fascination also lies in how these rarities are discovered. Imagine someone finding one of these valuable 2006 pennies in a handful of change or tucked away in a jar at home, unaware that the tiny coin they were holding was worth a fortune. Many great coin discoveries happen by accident, and the story of the 2006 penny reinforces that sense of wonder, that even something as small as a penny could be life-changing. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and mysterious stories in modern numismatics, the 2002 1-cent coin that's rumored to be worth an astonishing $18 million. Yes, you heard that right, $18 million for a single penny that most people would overlook in their change jars or grocery store counters. This story is about how a tiny copper-plated zinc coin minted in 2002 became the center of intense attention, speculation, and excitement among collectors, not because of its face value or metallic composition, but because of its extraordinary minting errors, subtle details, and historical quirks that made it unlike almost any other coin of its kind. So buckle up and join us as we explore how a 1-cent piece from 2002, a coin most people would never look at twice, could be hiding errors so rare, so baffling, and so valuable that it could fetch millions on the collector's market. The 2002 Lincoln cent, featuring the familiar image of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, was produced in massive quantities by the United States Mint. Over 5 billion pieces were struck that year across multiple facilities, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Most of them are completely ordinary, struck on the typical copper-plated zinc planchets that had become standard since 1982. Yet among those billions, there exist a few strange specimens that stand out for their bizarre minting mistakes, coins that defy expectations and show signs of mechanical malfunction, planchet anomalies, and striking errors that make collectors' hearts race. One such coin, the 2002 1-cent error piece that has been valued at $18 million, has become legendary because of a perfect storm of errors that appear to have occurred during its creation. Let's talk about why this coin is so special. First, experts believe that this coin was struck on a transitional planchet, meaning it may have been accidentally struck on a leftover planchet intended for another denomination, possibly a dime or even a foreign coin, as the U.S. Mint at the time was producing coins for several countries under contract. The weight discrepancy, coupled with an unusual metallic tone when tapped, indicates that the planchet wasn't the usual zinc composition. This immediately makes the coin an anomaly, because planchet mix-ups are among the rarest types of mint errors. Imagine a coin that's supposed to be a penny but has the density and acoustic properties of a completely different metal. Collectors would pay fortunes for that alone. But it doesn't stop there. This extraordinary 2002 penny also exhibits a double die obverse, meaning that during the minting process, the die that stamped Lincoln's face onto the coin struck it twice, slightly out of alignment. The result? You can see faint doubling in the letters of Liberty, In God We Trust, and even in the date, 2002. This kind of doubling can occur due to die misalignment or improper hubbing, and when visible to the naked eye, it adds tremendous numismatic value. Collectors often go wild for double die errors, especially if the doubling is strong and affects major design features. In some cases, such as the famous 1955 double die cent, values have soared to over $100,000, so imagine how much a 2002 penny combining doubling, transitional planchet, and other rare features could command. Now add to that another mysterious element. This particular 2002 error coin is believed to have a die clash, where the obverse and reverse dies came into contact without a planchet in between, leaving traces of each design on the opposite side of the coin. Under magnification, faint outlines of the Lincoln Memorial pillars can reportedly be seen behind Lincoln's bust, an eerie and beautiful visual that adds even more intrigue. Die clashes are rare enough, but when combined with doubling and planchet errors, the odds of such a combination are astronomical, perhaps 1 in billions. It's as if fate conspired to create this one unique coin, an unrepeatable minting accident that slipped through quality control and into circulation unnoticed. For years, it might have changed hands countless times, sitting in pockets and cash drawers until one sharp-eyed collector realized its odd coloring, strange weight, and doubling patterns were not normal. Upon closer inspection under laboratory analysis, metallurgical testing confirmed that the coin contained traces of copper and nickel in a ratio inconsistent with standard penny composition. This revelation sent shockwaves through the collecting community, fueling rumors that the 2002 penny had been struck on a leftover foreign coin planchet or even an experimental test piece. The United States Mint has, on rare occasions, tested different planchet materials for durability or aesthetic reasons, and sometimes such experimental pieces accidentally escape into the public domain. This could explain why the 2002 error coin stands apart from any ordinary cent. Beyond its physical properties, the coin also has subtle die rotation, meaning that when flipped from front to back, the reverse design is misaligned by several degrees from the proper orientation. Die rotations happen when the reverse die is installed slightly off-axis, and while minor rotations are relatively common, a major one, especially combined with other minting issues, drastically multiplies the coin's rarity and appeal. The more errors that occur together, the rarer and more valuable the coin becomes. But what truly pushes this coin into the multi-million-dollar range is its pristine condition. Despite all its anomalies, it appears to have never been circulated heavily, maintaining its original mint luster, sharp strike, and mirror-like fields. A coin like this, graded by top-tier certification services such as PCGS or NGC, could achieve a perfect or near-perfect mint state grade, perhaps MS 68 or higher, which exponentially increases its value. Serious collectors and investors know that high-grade error coins are like lightning in a bottle, they rarely occur and, when discovered, become priceless artifacts of minting history. But beyond the physical and mechanical aspects, there's a story behind why collectors are willing to pay such sums. Coins like this 2002 penny are more than metal, they're historical fingerprints of human error, mechanical unpredictability, and chance. Every minting mishap tells a story about the complex process of coin production, where thousands of tons of pressure, intricate machinery, and precise alignment all have to work perfectly in sync. When something goes wrong, it leaves behind a tangible reminder of imperfection, a fluke that transforms a 1-cent piece into a multimillion-dollar masterpiece. Some theories even suggest that the 2002 penny might have been part of a limited batch minted during a transitional calibration phase when dies were being changed, making it one of the first coins struck under those conditions. Early strikes are sometimes sharper, but if something went wrong mechanically, those few test pieces could emerge with unique attributes. Combine that with the allure of rarity, only 1 or 2 known examples, and you've got a perfect storm of collector mania. The rumor of its sale for $18 million reportedly stems from private auction circles where elite collectors compete for unique specimens that can't be replicated or replaced. Unlike bullion coins whose value fluctuates with metal prices, numismatic errors like this draw their value from rarity and story. The mystique of a coin that shouldn't exist, a penny on the wrong planchet, doubled, clashed, rotated, and preserved perfectly, is irresistible. Some believe that one of these 2002 pennies may even bear microscopic marks indicating it was struck at a facility conducting experimental minting trials, perhaps at a moment when the mint was testing adjustments to the coin's zinc coating process. Over time, collectors and metal analysts have discovered subtle variations in the copper plating thickness of early 2000 cents, and a few extraordinary outliers, like this one, have a completely different alloy signature. These metallurgical oddities only deepen the mystery. Was this a simple mistake or a glimpse into an experimental minting run never meant to see public release? Such possibilities make collectors salivate, because provenance and narrative are just as valuable as the coin itself. As with all great rarities, there's an element of legend here. Some say the $18 million valuation is based on a private offer from a top collector or museum who wanted to secure the piece as a centerpiece of American coin history. Whether or not that sale officially happened, the buzz around the coin has already cemented its place in numismatic lore. Its combination of double die clash, rotational misalignment, transitional planchet, and pristine preservation creates a perfect storm of rarity that could, in theory, justify such a staggering figure. After all, when you're dealing with one-of-a-kind artifacts, price becomes more about passion than practicality. Every collector dreams of finding a hidden treasure in loose change, and this story keeps that dream alive. Imagine the excitement of realizing that the penny you picked up off the floor might be worth more than a mansion, that your ordinary coin could hold within it a twist of fate and human error that rewrote its destiny. It's that magic that fuels the world of coin collecting, the blend of art, history, science, and luck.